Hello students, in today's class we'll discuss on the problems on the moment distribution method. In the last class we have discussed on the methodology of how to procedure for doing this moment distribution method and how it will applicable to different problems. We have seen in the moment distribution method at the steps we have seen that we have calculated the period moments. We have calculated the stiffness of the members. We have calculated distribution factors. Then we have to balance this release and unrelease these joints and do carryover and balancing of these joints till its value. And then we sum up the moments on the each column and the final. So please let us do some problems. Discuss some problems on this moment distribution method for beams, continuous beams. Now, this is the first example where you can see that the both ends are fixed. It is a three-span continuous beam, and there is no load on the span AB. There is a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter, not meter, Newton per meter on the span BC, and there is a 250 kilonewton load on this section beam CD at the center. This is not meter, this is kilonewton, and this is kilonewton per meter. So the spans are given 12, 12, and 8 meter. There is no sinking of supports. We'll start doing the calculation now. So first, we have to find out the fixed moments. So let us find out the fixed moments. As you know, for span AB, there is no load. So the fixed moments MFAB and MFBA will be equal to 0. And for the span BC, there is a UDL. As you know, for the UDL, it is for BC minus WL square by 12 and CB plus WL square by 12. And here it is a point to that center. So the bending moment will be minus WL by 8 for CD and WL by 8 for BC. So we have also discussed that in this moment distribution method, first step is all the spans are fixed. Okay. So AB is fixed, BC is fixed, CD is fixed. Then we will go for the release of this or balancing the. So let us go to the problem. We'll find that MFBC is equal to MFCB. They will come minus WL square by 12, which comes out to 240 kilonewton. Now, similarly, MFCD, the fixed end moments in CD and fixed end moment DC, which come out to be minus 250 and plus 250 kilonewton. So these are the fixed end moments. So let us calculate the distribution factor. Now, if you come to this calculation of distribution factor, you have to go to each joint. And already you have seen for joint A and joint the fixed end, the value of distribution factor is equal to 0, and there where it is 1 for this. So 1 for the simply supported or the inside. What happens generally if you draw a fixed support? Now, fixed support will take all the moments. Whatever the moments you will carry from this to this, all will be taken by the fixed moments. Nothing will be come from fixed end to this supported ends like this way, and it will carry over all these moments whatever you transfer to this. So if we do calculation for joint B and joint C, so there are the two members meeting, that is BA and BC. Okay, we take B and C, and this is D and this is A. So here the member is BA and BC. At this joint CD. Now, what are the value of relative stiffness? If you find a relative stiffness, you can take I by L, or you can take 4I by L. Then find the values. So it depends on whether you find relative stiffness or you find the stiffness of the member. Depends. So K by sigma K will give the distribution factor. We'll take I by L. Moment of inertia is uniform throughout section. There is no variation of moment of inertia. The moment of inertia can also vary. It can be a different value for span AB, different for span BC, and different for span CD. They differ, then that should be reflected here, the relative stiffness, I by L. So I by L is the relative stiffness for the far ends fixed. And if it is hinged, we have seen 3 by 4 I by L. That has the relative stiffness. Or you can also do that the for member both end fixed it is 4 EI by L. And for a hinged, one fixed other hinged 3 I by L. So it is up to your choice. I will calculate the values. And finally, it is K by sigma K. So if it is K by sigma K, the values will be found out relative. Now here it is the relative stiffness is taken. So for this span BA is 12 meter, this is 12 meter, and this is 8 meter. So this will be because all this is fixed and this is also fixed. So you'll find this I by L, all are I. You want to say it's I throughout the section. So I by 12, I by 12, go to the span for the BC, and CB also will be I by 12, where CD will be I by 8. I'll find for each joint, find the value of sigma K. Sigma K is K1 plus K2. You add sigma K means here 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2, right? So, sorry, 1 by K1 plus K2. Sorry. So this will be this will be K1 plus K2. This is the sigma K. The two members are there. So find this is equal to this. So 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12. So this becomes 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12, that becomes 1 by 6. 1 by 6 is the value of sigma K here. But if he will come here 1 by 12 plus 1 by 8, so if he add both 1 by 12 plus 1 by 8, so 12 8 means it will be 24. So 24 means this is 2, this is plus 3. So 5 by 24. So this value how comes 5 by 24? 5 by 24. Now, what is the distribution factor? K by sigma K. Now divide 1 by 12 by 1 by 6. So that comes out to be 0.5. Similarly, this also comes 0.5 because you'll see the we have also discussed the summation of all distribution factor at the at the end of this joint is equal to 1. So 0.5 plus 0.5 will 1. And here if you put that 1 by 12 by 5 by 24, that will give 0.4. And similarly 1 by 8 by 5 by 24 will give 0.6. So this is how we calculate these distribution factors for each joint. Now let us understand this moment distribution table. Once you find these steps, then we will go third step. You will find the moment distribution table. That is very important, and try to understand how it is being done, and accordingly all the problems will be. Now you see we have the joint A, B, C, D. On the joint A, we have only one member, that is AB. On joint B, there is two members BA and BC. BA for the span AB and BC for the span. We'll add joint C, one is CB, one is CD. The joint D, there will be DC. It is in alpha, so it is not alpha, this will be DC. Some mistake, it is DC. Okay. So these are the members at each of the things. Now we write the distribution factor, calculate. For a fixed end, we have already talked the value is equal to 0. So the moments at the distribution at the fixed end will not be unbalanced because all the moments will take over by the fixed end. Whatever moment you apply, that can be taken by the fixity of the joint. So now 0.5, 0.5 is the distribution factor here. 0.4, 0.6 is the distribution factor, and 0 is again the distribution factor for the fixed end. Once you put these distribution factors, so first write down the joint, then write down the members, then write down the distribution factor, then we'll come to fixed end. So fixed end will calculate here 0, here 0, minus 240, plus 240, minus 250, and plus 2. Just write down the values. And you divide at joint B, you got two members, you can divide into two parts. Now let us come to balancing the joints. Now, if you come to balance the joints, now you see here there is a moment. What is the total moment here? One side 0, other side minus 240. So the unbalanced moment becomes minus 250. If it will come to like the joint B here. So here there is no moment, and only here is anticlockwise minus 240. So to balance it, you have to apply a positive. So because the whatever the unbalanced moment, you have to make the unbalanced moment is equal to 0. So you have to apply the moment equal and opposite to that value. Right? So because 0 minus 240, it becomes minus 240. So minus 240 means you have to apply plus 240. Now these 240, whatever you apply, that will be distributed among both the members B and BC in the ratio of their distribution factor. Now from 240 you multiply 0.5, so plus 120 and plus 120 will come here and here. Am I clear? So again I am repeating that you see what is the unbalanced moment at the joint B and apply equal and opposite magnitude of that moment to make it balance. Now, whatever moment you will apply, balance this joint, that will be distributed among the members in the joint in proportion to their distribution factor. So 0.5 is multiplied. I will come to this joint, plus 240 and minus 240. So what the net value? Net value is minus 10. Right? Minus 10 is the unbalanced moment, and we have to apply plus 10 to make it balance. That plus 10 moment will be distributed among the members CB and CD in proportion to that distribution factor 0.4, 0.6. So 10 into 0.4, it becomes plus 4. 10 into 0.6, that becomes plus 6. And there is no unbalanced moment at the fixed end A and B. So this is clear now. So we balance the section. So once you balance the section, then carry over. So what will carry over? Because what we have seen in the last class, that if this member is like this, so the moment here will be carry over to the here, and the moment here will carry over to this joint here. This joint here, right? So what is the carryover value? The carryover value is equal to half of the moment here with equal sign convention. It is positive, become positive. Negative, become negative. So please see here, it is plus 120, so it will come here. Carry over will be plus 60. Here it is 120, so it will carry over 60 plus 60 here. Now here it is 4, so half of the value will come here, that is plus 2. Now 6 here, half the value will come 3 here. Okay. So this is how it will be carry over. Since there is no moment here, nothing will carry over here. There is no carry over here. Similarly, there is no carry over from here to here because there is no moment, unbalanced moment. Okay. The unbalanced moment that will get at a different joints in the members. So the half of the value will go to that side. So you see, half of will come from here to here. Nothing will come to here from here. So this is how the carryover concept comes. Whatever the unbalanced moment you will get at this in this member, the joint. Now here for this span, the moment will carry over from here to here, and in this span from this joint it will carry from the next here, and whatever value here that will be also carry over here. This is how the carryover concept is being implemented. If you understand the first step, how the balance carryover, all the balance carryover follows that rule. Now, if we come to the second step now, let me clear all these things. Now, we come to second carryover values. We got these. Okay, so these are the carryover values we have obtained. Now, see, these carryover values will remain here. Nothing will be distributed because this is fixed end. This moment will be taken by the fixed end, and this moment will be taken by the fixed end. Whatever moment will come to the fixed end, so fixed end is capable to take all the moments. Now, see, once you carry over, what is the now unbalance? Here is the unbalanced moment is 2. Here the unbalanced moment 60. Now, in one cycle, what you find? From minus 240, it is coming now plus 2. From plus 240, now it's come to 60. So now it has been reduced for that value. So now we'll go on doing these values till this value converges. Now here it is plus 2 money, you have to apply 50 minus 2. You would apply minus 2 and then that will distribute in the ratio 0.5 to 0.9, minus 1, minus 1. Similarly, plus 60 here, then apply minus 60. Minus 60 into 0.4, it becomes minus 24. Minus 60 into 0.6 becomes minus 36. Then again, the same carryover. Minus 36 it will become minus 8, minus 18. Minus 1 means it will become minus 0.5. Minus 24, minus 12, minus 1, minus 1. Whatever the sign is there, carryover will carry the same sign but half of the value. There are two things. Carryover is always the 50%, half of the moment will carry over to this next member joint. It is related, and the sign convention remains same whatever the value balance. But in balancing, while balancing, the unbalanced moment is going to balance. They are to be distributed in the joint among the members in proportion to their distribution factor. And at a joint, the total value of these distribution factors, if you sum, that will never exceed 1. Now, in the similar process, you will go for balance and carryover. Balance and carryover will continue. So now you see the carryover is 0.15 here, and here is 0.01. Now these values are coming very less values. As these values are coming very less values, we'll stop at somewhere. You can make us another balance. Somebody can also stop here also. Okay, you can also stop here, and we can find the values accordingly. Now, if you go on adding the values, now 60. Now each column is to add it. Now, once you complete all these things, you have to add all the values in this column. To add all the values in this column, the moments, only moments. Moments is to be added to find out the final values. Find out the final values. Generally, you can stop at a balance, but at the balancing, then you have to do this carryover balance. So in the balance, you can also stop. So you could have also stopped here if you have less time, and you can also stop at these points where it is coming 0.005. So you can also stop here. Another two you may not do because the final result will be hardly vary. Does not matter. In examination purpose, if you are going for exam purpose, so if you see after 3-4 cycles the values are coming very less, so you stop here. Don't go further. 0.05 is sufficient. You don't go again coming the values different values. So this is how we'll do the things. So then finally you add these values. Now you add here 60 plus 363, 63.15, 61 minus 0.5 minus 0.02. So this is how we find the value 62.6. 60 plus 363 plus 63.15. 63.15. Then if you do the minus values, minus 0.5, minus 0.5. So if you subtract minus 0.53 here, you find out 5326 62.60. Right. Similarly, for each column, find the values, and you must see that these two values are equal and opposite, and these two values must be equal and opposite at the joint. Otherwise, the joint cannot balance. So that you should follow, and then that is the final moments of this. Now let us once you find the moments, then you have to do the bending moment diagram. Okay. So after writing the free state moments, we can see that there is the unbalancing moment. So this is being explained again. So how it is being done. So I am not doing to that because I have already explained how you have done. So this is a procedure has written in some way. Now let us go to the bending moment diagram. Now what is the bending moment diagram here? Now we have got the values of moments. That is, what is the value first? The first value is plus. Plus means clockwise. Plus means clockwise. So clockwise here. So you can see clockwise movements means this and clockwise means you can see this is the clockwise movements. Let me explain here. Now we have got this. This is the span A, B, C, D. Okay. So in the A, then B, then C, then D. Right. So what the moment at A? Moment is 62.62 means it is clockwise. positive. Here also the moment is 125.25 positive. Right? Now what we will see here, at the joint A, the clockwise is positive, so you take positive here because you have to superimpose. Because you have to superimpose, the positive moments will taken here, negative moments will be on the opposite side. So they can be combined in the diagram. Now here 125.25 is clockwise, so clockwise means bending moment anti-clockwise positive, so it is taken as negative here. So 62.62, 125.25. Now here it is again clockwise 28.4, so clockwise means here it is like this 125.25, and here it is like this 28.281.2. It is 281.4, and this is clockwise. This is again anti-clockwise. So both will negative. So it will become negative 281.4. And here it is again clockwise. So at this end clockwise is again negative 234.26. So now you put these end moments and join by the straight lines. So find this is the thing. Over these end moments, we have to superimpose the moments on the span. Now in this span, there is a in the span AB there is no load, so there is no moment. In span BC there is a UDL, so the UDL is up to some value. So 20 kilometer span. So WL square by 8 as a simply supported. The value of the ordinate will be WL square by 8. Okay. Now here it is a point load, so it will be WL by 4. Okay, WL by 4 is the maximum bending moment for a simply supported case. Now, if you put a simply supported value, it comes around 5 volt. Now we can connect this. Now what will happen? The final diagram will be this positive, then this negative, then this positive. This portion will be plus minus will be cancelled out. So this is the your moment diagram. And again, this is the moment diagram. It is negative, and again this part is positive. This part is negative. So this is the bending moment diagram for this. Now, if you will be asked to calculate this, what the maximum bending moment in this span, what the shear force diagram, we have already discussed in the slope system method how the shear force and the maximum bending moment to find the reactions in each span, and how to calculate the shear force and bending moment diagram. So we are advised to follow that same. So we will not repeat those things again and again. We have already discussed how to calculate these things in case of slope. Now let us go for the second problem. In the second problem, you see here the value of E and I is given. Now this is a continuous beam, and you have to solve by moment distribution method. Now here it is. What is the changes from that problem to this problem? That in the span AP there is a UDL is provided, and the span in the span CT earlier D was fixed. Now D is because D is simply supported, the moment mark of D must be equal to 0. Okay, and there is also support sinks. So another thing is given, the support B is sinks by 10 millimeters. So now support B sinks means there will be a moment due to the support sinking 6I delta by L square, and that will come for span AB and span BC. Because support B sinks means it will be like this. But it will not affect the span CD. There is no moment will come to span CD due to the support settlement. So in addition to these moments, to fixed end moments, you'll find some support settlement moments. So the fixed end moments will be two parts. One is due to this UDL or the point load, and second is due to the support settlement. And you have already seen if the support settles like this delta, then these values are minus 6I delta by L square. Minus means minus 6I delta by L square is for this span, and for other span it will be 6I delta by L square minus. So that will be plus for this span BC. That is the being concept we have already seen. So accordingly, now calculate the fixed moments. So the purpose of doing this problem is support sinking is incorporated in this problem, and further there is no end. One end is simply supported. End is simply supported. How that will be considered in solving the problem. Now here you see what is MFAB. So it will be minus W square by 12 minus 6I delta by L square. So you know all the values WL, EI, all the values are given. And you should the units you should consult. You see E value is given 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per millimeter square. I is in meter 4. So I is in meter 4, 10 power minus 4. Then your I is equal to L is equal to 600 meter square. So you should convert in kilonewton meter because WL square by 12 is kilonewton meter. You calculate this moment in Newton millimeter, then divide by 10 to the power 6 to find this value. So try to understand those things. What is being done? Now this WL square by 12 is coming kilonewton meter. This the students do the mistake here. It's coming kilonewton meter. Now this must be the unit of this must be in kilonewton meter. Otherwise, the problem will be wrong because you cannot add five mangoes plus 6 banana is equal to 11 mangoes. That cannot. So it should be mangoes with mangoes. So units must be same. That kilonewton meter. If one is kilonewton meter, other must be in kilonewton meter. If it is not in kilonewton meter, then the problem arises. So that is why what is being done here. He has taken 6 E in 10 to the power 5 Newton per millimeter square, and here I is also given. What the value of I is given? I is given in meter 4. So it has been converted to millimeter 4. One meter is equal to 10 to the power 3 millimeter. So to the power 4 means 10 to the power 12. So that is why he has multiplied here 10 to the power 12. Okay. Convert this meter 4 into millimeter 4. Now L is taken in millimeter, so in millimeter square. Now all the things will come in Newton millimeter. So to convert into kilonewton meter, this is divided by 10 to the power 6. You should understand that. It is divided by 10 to the power 6. So first the value of moment of inertia is converted from meter to millimeter, meter 4 to millimeter 4, and then the entire calculation comes in Newton millimeter. So it is being divided to 10 to the power 6 to find in kilonewton meter. So it becomes minus 100 kilonewton meter. I think now you are here regarding the units. You should see the units. Similarly, MFBA, that will be W square by 12 plus minus 6I delta by L square. So once you calculate 6I delta by L square, you put the value here, same value is come 20 kilonewton meter. I will come to the span BC. The span BC, as you've seen this, because the one of these your span BC, what happens? It will come to span BC. So now this is like this. So this is delta here for settlement, and it is like this. So the positive value is 6I delta by L square. Clockwise 6I delta by L square. So the value is taken 6I delta by L square, and since there is a point force, you can find MFBC is minus WAB square by L square, and MFBC is equal to W A square B by L square. So once you know the put the formulae clearly, then we can put the values to calculate these values of 33.36 and again here 93.6. So these are the values that is coming. Then CD. So MCD will be minus W square by 12, and because there is a UDL, it will be plus 12 square by 12. So 26.67 and 26.67 minus 1. So next is you have to calculate the distribution factor. Again, you have the two joints B and C. Okay, BA, BC, CB and CD. Now this is a relative stiffness. So I by L, I by L. But for CD, if you are taking relatively 3 by 4 I by L, because one end is fixed, other end is hinged. It is simple support. So the condition will change. It will 3 by 4 I by L. So it should be very clear. If you put I by L, that becomes wrong. So you should be calculate 3 by 4 I by L. Or others are I by L. Because both ends is fixed. Is a continuous means it is also fixed. So you calculate the value of K for each member, relative stiffness of each member, then calculate the value of sigma K. Either if you calculate other way, so if you can other way member stiffness, this will be 4EI by L. Right? This will be also 4EI by L, and this also will be 4EI by L, but this will be 3I by L. So that you can also do that. So what is relative? It has to be divided by 4EI L, and the relative has taken. And by taking this both end fixed, it has the standard value. It is divided by this. So 1 I by L, I by L, and minus 3 by 4 I by L. Divide this in 3 by divided by E. So this is how we find out this relative stiffness. Once you find relative stiffness, find the value of sigma K for each joint and divide the K by sigma K. That is, will give the value of your distribution factor. And you see the distribution factor, if you add, it must become 1. So if we suppose you have put here 0.46, it is coming 0.33995, so make it 0.5. That everybody will add it, it becomes equal to 1. Not put like 0.536 here. You put three decimals, but always you try to make it round so that these things combined will give 1. It may be 3 digit or 2 digit, whatever you do. There is no issue. There is no issue, no variation. But while adding it, it must come to the value 1. Once you find the distribution factor, now let us go to the moment distribution. How the moment distribution is done here. So as we have discussed in the earlier case, last write down AB, BA, BC, like I write down all these things, and then write down this distribution factor we have obtained. Then write the fixed end moments minus 100 plus 20 this whatever value. Now, first thing you have to check here that we know that at simply supported the moment is equal to 0. But here is a in the we have seen the D is simply supported or heat whatever may be, but here the moment is equal to 0. But the moment is coming here is plus 26.67. So first you have to balance this section of the joint D, and then the next cycles while making the carryover and balance, no movement will come to this side. No carryover from CD to DC, because this DC becomes 0. Nothing will carry from here to here. Carryover will stop. What is being done? Because the value is plus 26.67, apply minus 26.67. Okay. And if I am applying minus 26.7 here, half will come to this. Half will come here. So that is minus 13.34. Now add it. Now it is 0 here. Here it is minus 40.01, and these values remains. So with these are now the initial values. Okay. After making the boundary conditions we have put, we will find the initial value. Now with these, we will go on balancing the moments. Now you see here, the value is plus 20 plus 33.6. What is the value? It becomes 53.6. Now you have to apply minus 53.6. If you are applying minus 53.6, minus 53.6 into 0.46 will be here, minus 24.66, and minus 53.6 into 0.504 will come here, minus 28.9, whatever value. Similarly, here plus 93 minus 26. So it will be some plus value. 93 minus 26 means it will come around 67, right? 67.07. So it becomes, sorry, here, sorry. Here, this value is like this, plus 93.6 minus 40. So minus 40 means 93 minus 40, it comes around 53. So 53.59. So it is a plus 53.59 So you have to apply minus 53.59. Now minus 53.59 into 0.51 will get this value, and minus 53.59 multiplied the value of 0.49 will give this value of 46. Let's just add it, will come 53.5. This is how you will balance the section. So you forget about this. Now initial value will be this because we have balanced the joints. Now while carry over, no moment will come to this side. Nothing. No here. Because we have already made it 0. Because already makes 0, so no carryover from here to here. Because already these are make 0. And already you have carried over the moment to here. Only you have to make the calculation on this part. So I think you are clear on this. How the balance and carryover will go on. That is being already taught. So you go on repeating the cycles at each case and each steps until the value comes a very less value. So here it has been stopped at some value. You can stop also here at balancing this section. You cannot may not take these. So either you stop balance or carry over. I think there is some problem in the calculations. So you can remove these also. You can start from here the carry over. So there is no carry over. Only here carry over is taken, but these carryovers are not being reflected here. So either you stop at balance. It is better to stop at the balance in the sections. Then add the values. You'll find the final moments as we have done in the last problem. Once you find the final moments, then you have to draw the shear force bending moment diagram. Now see what is the shear force bend diagrams. You see it is minus 109 means it is anti-clockwise. Plus means clockwise. So anti-clockwise from this side is negative. Clockwise here is negative. Then minus 24. So it becomes negative here. Anti-clockwise. Now plus clockwise again it is clockwise means again it is minus because clockwise movements from this side is negative, and then at d is equal to 0. Just join the lines, that is the moment end moments. With this you superimpose the bending moment for the simple solution. Simple solution means that the UDL here, so W square by 8. You have a also UDL here, W square by 8. Here you have a point load, so WL by the value WAB by L. So there is a point load at the some distance, so you can put WAB by L as the value for this. Then you can find these diagrams. Okay, you can see this diagram now. Okay. Now see, it is very clear that you write the values and get these values. Okay. And then if you want to find out again reactions at the each ends and find out these values, then you have to do split each span as we have already explained in the slope method and calculate the reactions. Then you can draw the shear force diagrams, and also you can find the maximum ordinate of these positive and negative moments, bending moments in the span by finding from the shear force diagram. Because in the shear force diagram, when the bending moment changes, when the shear force changes sign, the maximum bending moment will occur. The maximum may be positive or maybe negative. So accordingly, you can find the values on this shear force diagram, and then you can show this shear force diagram. So from bending moment diagram obtained, then for shear calculations you have to go for this calculation of reactions which come from the equilibrium of each part. Let us start another example. We'll start here. Let us do another example here. Problem with the overhanging. Now we'll see this is a span given. Another problem here for the continuous beams. Now you have this span AB. So all I am giving simple sketch of simple supported. There will be support conditions will give it. This is also simple supported. This is overhang. The problem. Now this is a 10 kilonewton load is given. 10 kilonewton. And this is given 2 meter. This distance is given 3 meter. Okay, units you can write down. And this is given at 4 meter, and this is given as 5 meter. So you can formulate any problem. So we'll see what is the effect of these things that we will discuss. The effect of overhanging. We have discussed this one is simple supported here, overhanging. Now a load of 40 kilonewton is applied at a distance of 2 meter from this side. This 2 meter. There's a point load at the center. Here a point load of is at center. The lead is 2 meter. And this is 20 kilonewton. Solar in kilonewton. This is 20 kilonewton, 40 kilonewton, and there's a UDL of 10 kilonewton. Kilonewton per meter. In this problem, what will happen? Here you see that the moment A, B, C, D. Let's give the names A, B, C, D. What is given here? The condition that MDC is known here. What the value of MDC? As I have told, it will make this like this, and this is like this. And this is a joint C. Okay, this is a load here. So 10 into 2, 20 will act like this here, 20 kilonewton meter. Here it is plus 20 kilonewton. So MDC, this is D. MDC is given. MDC is known, which is equal to plus 20 kilonewton meter. So you have to keep this value, balance this value first, and then nothing will carry over from C to D as you have seen in the last problem. So let us find out this solution of this. If you do the solution, first find out the fixed end moments. The fixed end moments it will try to solve. Then your MF AB equal to minus, I am writing value directly, minus 40 WAB square into 3 into 2 square divided by 6 WAB square by L square. So this comes minus 19.2 kilonewton meter. Then if you go for MFBA, that is equal to plus 40 S square E by L square, which comes out to be 28.8 kilonewton meter. Now we'll go for MF CD. Because center you can find MF CD, sorry, MF BC minus MF CB. One is opposite to other. That is equal to minus WL by 8. Minus because it is a simply supported, fixed on both ends, and load at the center. So WL by 8, that means 20 to 4 by 8, which comes out to be minus 10 kilonewton meter. And similarly, for this CD, you can calculate very easily because it is in there. We are acquainted with data already. Minus MFBC is equal to minus WL square by 12. So WL square 12 means 10 B square. That comes out to be minus 7.5. And you can go MFDE. If you want MFDE, it is equal to minus 10 into 2 comes out to be minus 20. So these are all fixed ends. Let us find out this your resistance factor. Next we'll go to for distribution factor. What is the distribution factor? DF. How to calculate the distribution factor now? You make a table. You have joints. Then you can make the table like this way: joints. So then you have the member. Then we have the K value. Then we have the sigma K value, right? And then we have the DF. This is how we calculate these values of distribution factor. Let us discuss one by one. So you will come to joint. That three joints. Joint B, member is BA. Okay, member is BA and member is BC. You can take the joint B. Then we have these joints C, that is CB and CD, right? Then our joint D. Joint D, we have member DE, DC and DE. DC and DE. Okay. So now we'll put all the things in this distribution factor table in the tabular form. Now, what is the value? You can take 4 EI by L. You can put here 4 EI by L. Okay. 4 EI by L, which is coming 0.18 EI. Here you can put 4 EI by L. So 4 EI by, you see, 4 EI by 6. It was 4 EI by 5. Okay. So this comes out to be EI. Sorry, it is just 4. 4 EI by 4, it comes here to EI. Total will come 1.8. This is 0.8, 0. Sorry. This is 0.84 by 5, 0.8 EI. So it is comes 1.8 EI. Okay, we'll calculate additional factor, which is coming 0.444, 0.444, and 0.556. So if we add, they will become equal to 1. For CB, we can put for the value of CB, that is again 4 EI by L. BC and CB is same, so it becomes 4 EI by L, that is equal to EI. But CD will be 3 EI by L. Okay, so CD will be 4 EI by L. What the value of CD there? Let us check. So go to the problem here. So what the value of here? CD is 3 meter. Okay. So we have seen CD is your 3 meter, and D is like your supported overhanging part. So you can take this value as 4 EI by L and 4 EI by L. So this is again EI. So it will be 0.2 EI, and this will be 0.5 and 0.5. Now, in case of DC, this will be 4 EI by L, that is equal to 1.33 EI, and this will be equal to 0. So this is 1.33 EI. Okay, and this is equal to 1. This is equal to. So this is how to calculate the moment distribution table. Once you find moment distribution table, then we'll go for this moment distribution. How to do the moment distribution? Now let's go to the moment distribution. So now the moment distribution table we have to start, and we'll do 1-2 cycles. and then we can find out the value moment distribution. So you have these joints as you have written joints. Okay. A, then joint B, then joint C, then joint D, right? In the joints, you have the members then. Okay. The members are AB, BA, here is BC, this is CB, ED, BC, E. I'll make two parts of these all the members. These are the members. These are the members. Now you'll find the distribution factors. What are the distribution factors? So A and AB is fixed, so 0, right? And here it is 0.444, right? 0.444, 0.556, 556. This is 0.5. This is 0.5. This is 1. This is 0, right? So this is the distribution factors. Then write down the fixed end moments. Okay. FEM. Fixed end moments. What are the fixed end moments values? Here it is minus 19.2. Here it is 28.8. 28.8. And here it is minus 10, plus 10, minus 7.5, plus 7.5, and minus 20. Okay, this is minus 20. Now what we'll do, first we have to balance a joint D. So in the joint D, you know, you have to balance because the moment will be minus 20 and plus 20. So it cannot beyond that. This is the value will remain fixed. So first you have to make the balance of the joint D. So now if we make the joint D is the balancing, then you have to calculate these values first. What the value coming? Minus 20 plus 7.5. What the value? That is minus 12.5. So you have to apply here plus first balance joint. So first balance joint D. So this you know that the moment is will be here like this. So first balance the joint D. So to first balance the joint D, so what you have to do, you have to apply the moment 12.5 here plus 12.5 because 20 minus 12 will apply 12.5. So out of this, if I apply this, there will carry over. What the value of carryover? Carryover will half of this. So half of will come here 6.25. Then balance it. Carryover balance. I will balance it. What the value now? The balancing will find out. This is 6.25. Okay. So now we will not go any moment from CD to DC. Now here will be 12.5 plus 7.5 plus 20. This is minus 20. So now nothing will go from here to there. Okay. If you want, you can write all these moments, initial moments here, then balance it, or you can directly do that. Now, if you come to this, now it will balance and carry over part. What the moment at here? 28.8 minus 10. So it becomes plus 18.8. You have to apply minus 18.8. Okay. If you are applying minus 18.8, then 0.44 will come here and 0.556 will come here. So the values will be minus 8.35 here. We balance now. It will be minus 8.35 here. Minus 8.35 will come here. And here it will come minus 10.45. Right? Are you able to understand? What is the moment here? 28.8 minus 10. So it becomes 18.8. That is the value of positive. So you have to apply minus 18.8, then multiply 0.44, it will get value. You will multiply 0.55, so you get this value. Similarly here, this is 10 minus 7.5 plus 6.25. This has also come here. So 10 plus 6, 16 minus 7. Okay, it will around 8 point something. So now if you apply this thing, it will be minus plus 8, so it will be minus 4.38 and minus 4.38. So 8.76 is the unbalanced moment. So this will come here like this. Now half of this will go here, half of this will come here, half of this will come here, half of this will not go here, because nothing will go from now here to here. So this transformation is not possible, because already we have balanced this joint. So no moment will come from CD to DC. So this will go on carry out till the steps till they are converging or the last value. So finally you come to a stage, the balance value will come as balance value is come here 0.0. We have stopped here. The 0.07 here, 0.09 here, 0.07, 0.07. So you do some steps. I am leaving some steps. You go on calculating carry over balance. It will come here 0.07, 0.09, 0.19, and 0.18. So with this, we have to stop these values, and then we can calculate these final moments. So once you come here, we can calculate the final moments. Now the final moments in this problem comes like this. I will come to add all these values. The final moment. Now the final moment, final values, we have to calculate. The final value comes here minus 23.18, minus 23.18, and this value comes as 20.91, 20.91, and this value will come as minus 20.91. This plus means is minus 20.91, and this value will be 3.14, and this value will be minus 3.14, and minus 3.14. This value will be minus 20. Sorry, this will be plus 20, and this will be minus 20. Okay. So these are the final moments. With this, you have to draw this bending moment diagram. I know how you can able to draw the bending moment diagram. So with this, we conclude this some problems on continuous beam. Thank you for attending this class.